Happy Fragrant Friday, fraghead. Hey everybody, this is Ben here at That Cologne Guy, coming at you with a new, you know it, review. You've seen the title and you've seen the description, so you know this, of course, is Jaipur EDT by Boucheron. That's what you know. What you don't know is this. I'm going to be doing an exclusive review on this EDT version in this episode, but I will not be comparing it at all, hopefully, to the EDP version which I did last week. Why, might you ask? Because next week I'm going to have an exclusive episode on comparing the EDP to the EDT. So in this episode I'm going to try my best to stay away from comparing it to the EDP that I did last week, and then just make it exclusively on this. And then next week I will compare the EDP with the EDT. So if you're wondering, or if you want to ask me, what's the difference? How do the two compare? Hold your horses, because it's coming for Christmas. That's your Christmas gift. And it's my first EDT versus EDP episode. Interesting factoid is that this was a 1998 release. So the EDT was actually released 1 year after the EDP. Before I dive in, let me quickly say yet again, since last week we have had an absolute smattering of new subscribers, and I really, really appreciate that. Make sure you check out my channel trailer, and bottom line is I have new content every single Friday. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell and smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really do sound like a real YouTuber after all this time. So thank you very much for the support of my channel. I really, really appreciate that. And you're thinking, oh gosh, he's gonna bust out the happy holidays. Of course I am. So only 1 week before Christmas. Do you have your shopping all done? And I'm looking at you. You don't. So happy holidays to you and yours. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season. And of course, at TCG, not only is it happy holidays, but yet again, oh yes, let's do a flyby. It is Brian Appreciation Month. Subscriber Brian reached out a while back and sent me a whopping 1, 2, 3, 4 brand new bottles, and I really appreciate that. This is the final one. He's probably getting tired of me thanking him. In fact, I was just going through our email exchanges, and I thanked him a lot then too. So I've attacked him with thank yous. This is the last one, Brian, I promise. But I really do appreciate the gesture. It's just so incredibly kind. Okay, so when it comes to the nomenclature, usually I have a fair amount to say, and I really enjoy this part of the episode where I talk about the house and the inspiration behind the name. That said, in my episode last week, I spent a lot of time talking about Jaipur. So this fragrance is by Boucheron, and Boucheron makes fine jewelry, and of course they also make fragrances. And then that said, this is a French company. So people usually will say Jaipur in English to approximate the French pronunciation of this. It turns out that Jaipur, which would be the pronunciation in Hindi, is an Indian city in the state of Rajasthan, and its nickname is the Pink City, by the way. And I talked a lot in the last episode about that. So what I want you to do now, if you'd like to know more about the inspiration behind the name, check out my last episode. And go to watch the first 6-7 minutes, and then after that, if you're really into it, more about India, you could watch the last 3 minutes or so in the bonus feature. And I really talked a lot about nomenclature. I'm not going to do that so much here because I've already talked about it there. Okay, so with the nomenclature out of the way, let me say too the notes. Here's the thing about this one. What I really like about the initial blast is the refreshing citrus. I don't know that I expected that one because this one is oftentimes associated with being a cinnamon dominant fragrance. So you get lime, lemon, and bergamot. You also get cardamom, but for me personally, the citrus notes dominate in the initial blast. And then after that, you really start to get more into the heart, which might surprise you actually, because this is like I said, this is a 1998 release. It came after the EDP, and it has cinnamon, which of course you probably knew, but it also has geranium and rose. And that's something I didn't really expect, mixed with jasmine in the heart. So I actually really, really liked the combination of cinnamon mixed with jasmine, and then a little bit of the rose and carnation. Excuse me, not geranium. I'm sorry, carnation. And then in the base notes, you get into what I particularly like even more, which is the cedar and the tonka bean. And so I really loved wearing this fragrance. This is another one that in 6 days, I've seared through. That's quite a bit when you consider that it came chock full, filled to the brim, and I really enjoyed wearing this fragrance every single day this week, just like last week. So those are the notes, and I personally feel like it's more a fantastic combination of citrus notes mixed with cinnamon, just enough of the carnation and rose and jasmine, but it certainly doesn't turn it too feminine, actually. It makes it refined. And then it really turns into full-blown cedar tonka bean. I really personally, I like the dry down, and I like the initial blast. So I absolutely love this fragrance. So those are the notes behind that one. I will say that, much like the EDP last week, I will say that when it comes to the notes, I'm still a little surprised that you don't see more Indian, especially for Indian food, but Indian spices associated with India, Indian food. I still would have liked to have seen a little bit more homage to the name. That said, just strictly in terms of smell, it's going to be pretty hard to beat. The mid notes with the carnation and the rose do really give it a kind of a 90s gentlemanly feel to it. And then you also have this kind of refreshing citrus blast in the initial. And then finally it really settles down into something quite masculine. So this one is going to be very, very difficult to beat, actually, and it's just an outstanding overall fragrance. All right, so before I talk about the longevity, sillage, and projection, let me quickly go over the bottle itself, the box that it comes in, and the atomizer. So this is the box, and you can see here it says Eau de Toilette, the EDT. Okay, and there's that, and it has the batch code here. On the box itself, it does not have the batch code on the bottle. So the batch code is 06J02I295. That's the batch code. And that is from October 22nd, 2018. October 22nd, 2018 is the batch code on this. It's a 1998 release, but that is the batch code, which is listed on the box and not on the bottle. The bottle really couldn't be better. It's pretty hard to beat these bottles, isn't it? As I've said before, the cap is a tad cheap, but I mean that in the literal sense of just a tad. The design could not be better. I love the design of the bottle. It calls attention. It's refined, and it says thanks, but no thanks to minimalism. It's gaudy. Come on. It's gaudy. Somebody walks into your bathroom. A guest goes over to your house, walks into your bathroom, and checks this out. They know you mean business. Let's be honest. Okay, so you've got on the bottle Jaipur. Everything is clear here, and you've got Jaipur, Homme. And it's on the bottle but not embossed. The only thing that's embossed, of course, is in here the Boucheron house name. Ooh, there it is right there. And again, of course, there's the sticker with the information, but the sticker does not have the batch code. Got to have the batch code. Okay, so that is the bottle. Now let's take a look at the ergonomics behind this. Is just outstanding. This bottle fits right in your hand. Could be one of my top 10 favorite bottles, actually. Let's take a look at the atomizer. Just the perfect amount that you want. Not too much, but certainly not too little or cheap, inexpensive when it comes to the atomizer. I like that a lot about this fragrance. All right, so when it comes to longevity, projection, and sillage, it is par for course when it comes to an EDT. A lot of people have said this is full-on beast mode. I certainly don't say that. This is still in the 6 to 8 range, 6 to 8 hours, and I would say closer to 6. I know a lot of people have said it lasts forever. It might look. It's very possible that this just meshes with my body's chemistry so well that I'm not picking it up as much as other people. So it's entirely possible. I will just say I feel to me like it's a 6 to 8, and then I would want to spray more if I wanted to get to the 8-hour mark. So I'm not disappointed. I just wouldn't call it beast mode either. I just kind of find it in the middle for an EDT. When it comes to projection, you are going to be at an arm's length away for the first hour and a half to 2, perhaps even 3. I'd even go 3, and then after that it'll start to settle down slowly with each hour, and around the 8-hour mark it's going to be very, very, very close to your skin. So I would spray on clothes and hair if you want to get a full 8 hours. Very, very, very nice fragrance, though. You don't have to worry about going. Well, if you're wearing it in the office, be careful. But if it's in a social setting, blast away, because this is not going to be inoffensive by any means. So, and then the sillage. Speaking of social settings, in sillage, if you're coming in and out of rooms, you will leave a scent trail for about the first 2 hours. So, what I would recommend is if you're going to wear this and you're wanting to get unsolicited compliments from your date or people at the party, anything, I would say spray as close as possible to the time you're leaving, and that will help you greatly. So when it comes to age, I feel like this fragrance this one is very unique, but I love the citrus and the cedar and the tonka bean, and I feel that takes away from the, hold on, I know. It takes a little bit away from the grandma-like quality of a certain other fragrances whose name I will not mention. So I actually think this could be for somebody. I do see this as 25 and up. I don't know if I see too many college kids wearing this, but I do see a lot of 25 and up. I see a lot of mid-20s, guys in their 20s, all the way through the 30s and on up. I don't see any problem wearing this one whatsoever. The carnation, the jasmine, and the rose are certainly there, refined, present, but they're no way feminine. So actually, let's talk about the gender. To me, with the cedar, I'm going to up this one. I feel like this one is in the heart of the masculine category. So if we're saying feminine, unisex, and then over here would be ultra, uber masculine, I put it right there, right in the heart of masculine. I don't think it's ultra masculine. I don't think it's really unisex. I think you'd probably see about I'm going to say 80, I'm going to say 80-20. I'm going to say 80% of people who actually bought this, have it as a signature scent, wanted this one, purchased it because they themselves wanted it, not as a gift. I would say 80% would be men and 20% would be women. It's certainly not too masculine, but I just think in the grand scheme of things, you're going to be looking about an 80-20 split. Now, in terms of seasons, I do see this one also as a fall-winter, and I would add up until maybe even the first half of spring. I don't I don't know that this would do exceedingly well in the summer, but then I have to tell you, with the cedar followed by the citrus, you could get away with this one practically 365 days a year. I'm just talking about associations. I associate it more with the fall and the winter, but be careful here because with that citrus element, this could be pulled off in the in temperatures that are not too hot. I think hot weather might make it a little too cloying with the tonka. But that said, it has a lot of citrus, a lot going on there, and so it is highly versatile and could probably be 365 days a year. You could let us know if you indeed wear it for that long. So when it comes to versatility, this is another one that is just outstanding. This one is definitely... See, what I love about Jaipur is I love the fact that it's a crowd pleaser and unique at the same time. So a lot of the complaints, the crowd pleasers tend to be, they smell like detergent or an extension of your body wash, or maybe they're going after that ultra clean soapy smell that who wouldn't like. Or you get into something like, maybe you like 1 million that's going to get a lot of compliments, but the problem might be for you that you end up smelling, quote unquote, like everyone else. Most guys just want compliments and could care less, but I'm just throwing that out. This one is kind of the best of both worlds because this is something that will be a crowd pleaser, but it's also incredibly unique and not a lot of people around you are going to have it. So I personally love the versatility about this fragrance. Okay, so you're saying to yourself, if this guy's really going to say so many great things about it, and he's going to mention that it's incredibly versatile, surely he's going to give a rating that's 5 out of 5. I am. Actually, I am. This is a 5 out of 5 fragrance. When you consider that it's done by one of the best parfumers out there, one of the best, a top 10 parfumer, Annick Ménardo. When you consider the combination of versatility with uniqueness with crowd pleaser compliment getter, when you consider the fact that you could wear it practically throughout the year, but definitely, the vast majority of the year you could wear this fragrance, when you consider how incredibly cheap you can buy this, you can get this at discounters for around $25 to $30 for a 100 milliliter 3.4 ounce. That is absolutely incredible when you consider how gorgeous this bottle is alone, let alone the fact that the fragrance itself is outstanding. I've mentioned before, my 4s and 5s are easy reviews for me because I gravitate toward them each morning. This is another one. I just love rocking this juice. Absolutely love it. We're going to go 5 out of 5 sprays for this 1998 EDT, Annick Ménardo, Boucheron, citrus, cinnamon, tonka, cedar, just a perfect refined amount on the rose and the carnation. I don't know why I keep wanting to say geranium. And that's a 5 out of 5. We're going to go 1 on each side of the neck, 1 on each wrist, and 1 bum bum boom right in the center of the chest. And all right, there you have it. Woo! All right, there you have it. 5 out of 5 sprays, and this entire room emanates the aura of Jaipur. Take care, have a wonderful week, and always remember, fragrance marks the celebration of today. Take care, everybody. I am going to not give it the coveted bonus TCG spray because I do give them. And one commenter asked how many 6 out of 5s I've given. I've given 2. One is, of course, for sentimental reasons, which is Aqua di Gio. It's your favorite. It's my favorite. You know it, and I know it. You probably bought it for somebody for Christmas. Come on. And then the second one has to be Jubilation 25 by Amouage, which is probably, at least at this point, after all the reviews I've done, my favorite one. I can't put this one as a 6 because I don't feel like they paid enough, given enough props, right, and paid homage to India and Indian spices in this. You know, in fact, here's what I think. When I think of a city in India, if you told me there was a fragrance out there and you didn't say the name, but you just said it's named after an Indian city, you know what I thought? I would think it'd be something. It would smell something like Fate by Amouage, because that one is something where I really feel like it is heavy in Indian spices. So I would have liked that, but in the end, it's a 5 out of 5.